Wow, what an absolutely insane episode to cap off season 1 of Invincible. Let's talk about that final episode. Everybody, so we've reached the finale for Invincible on Amazon Prime Video. It's pretty crazy that we've already reached the finale. It's bittersweet because I've loved this show so much. Make sure you share your thoughts down below what you thought of the finale when you check it out, because that's part of the fun of it all, having that discussion with you guys, talk about each and every episode. But yeah, I knew this was going to be a really crazy finale, especially with the way that everything has been setting up leading up to this moment, with the end of last episode when Omni-Man killing the Immortal right in front of his son. And it truly did deliver, more so than I could ever ask for, because it seemed like this episode was just non-stop shocking moments until the end. Of course, we knew going into this episode that Nolan and Mark are going to have a conversation where Nolan reveals the truth to him, but even some of that truth was a surprise to us as the audience, as Omni-Man reveals his true motivations for coming to Earth. We get his motivations, his true backstory for why he's on Earth, and his true feelings for not just the humans on Earth, but how he views his family as well. It's like really evil, despicable things he says about his son, and also Debbie as well, and it just really shows just how diabolical Omni-Man truly is. I mean, after this episode in particular, Omni-Man is definitely up there for me in the upper echelon of supervillain antagonists, right up there with people like Homelander and also Thanos, which is kind of ironic because as Omni-Man is laying out his backstory and his motivations, some of it did actually kind of remind me of Thanos' plan in Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. I don't think it's really talked about enough, but I really have to commend the casting for this show, as Stephen Yeun and J.K. Simmons are both excellent in these roles as Invincible and Omni-Man. Their intensity and just the way they bring these characters to life really has enhanced the show, and it's why it's one of my favorite shows going on right now. And I feel like we don't talk about that enough because they're both excellent actors in voicing these characters. The writing as well was top-notch. The way that they actually built up to this fight in the finale between Mark and his dad was so expertly done. It was easily one of the best highlights of the entire season for me. Seeing them attempt to go toe-to-toe where neither of them are holding back, and it's bloody destruction for most of the episode, and it's really crazy fun. Well, maybe not as fun for Mark, as the violence is turned up to the highest degree in this. It's really shocking. If you had watched my reaction watching this episode for the first time, I would say that my mouth was just agape in shock and awe and horror for most of this entire fight scene, especially one scene in particular involving a train, Omni-Man, and Mark. That scene alone was like the most insane moment of the fight for me. That was like the definitive moment for me. Like, this is one of the most insane things I've ever seen done in a superhero show. After all this is said and done, between all of the violence and the emotional impact between various scenes between Mark and Omni-Man as they're fighting, I'm really not sure where they're going to take the direction of these characters when it comes to Omni-Man and also Mark as well. Omni-Man is a little bit more in the air than Mark, as he's still like a very evil, diabolical character and has his causes, but he has shown some sense of humanity every now and then, and seems like that was like the big driving force for what happens in the end of this episode with his character. Some interesting possibilities open up for Mark at the end of the episode, as well as Invincible and Cecil talk about some interesting crazy stuff that's probably going to lead into next season. After all of the crazy superhero action in this episode, I think it was really great to pretty much end on a human moment, as we see Mark and his mom kind of dealing with the aftermath of what happened, then William, Amber, and Eve coming over to have a really great discussion with Mark and taking him out to kind of comfort him. At least until a fun, familiar character from early on in the season shows back up and has a really fun discussion. And then we do finally end with a montage showing all the different characters we've seen throughout the season, seemingly setting up a lot of different teases for next season. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to next season already. It just sucks that we have to wait so long for season 2. I mean, this was in total like one of my favorite shows so far this year. Probably one of my favorite superhero shows of all time. It was such a blast, and I'm really excited to talk more about this in depth. I may even read some of the Invincible comics, in the meantime, just to give myself some fix of Invincible. But share your thoughts down below. What did you think of this finale for Invincible Season 1? Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? I'd love to know all your thoughts down below. What do you think is going to happen in Season 2? That's another thing that we can speculate on, all of our theories for what's going to happen next with all these different characters. Either way, share your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for checking out my review for Invincible Episode 8. It's been a really fun time talking about these episodes with you guys. But until the next time, I'll see you guys later.